To up your style game, check out HypeLitStore.com to find some of the latest trendy designs, with the Space Galaxy hoodie, Oreo joggers, or vintage Rick t-shirt, among many others. Once again at HypeLitStore.com. 10 Shark Tank deals that made millions. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get right into it. Grace and Lace. In a Season 5 episode, Barbara invested $175,000 for 10% equity of a company called Grace and Lace, a vintage-inspired fashion company. The company heads are a wife and husband duo, and the company has supposedly been seeing good sales. I couldn't find any exact figures, but Barbara has stated that Grace and Lace is her most profitable Shark Tank investment. Groove Book. This husband and wife team, Brian and Julie Whitman, came to the Sharks in a Season 3 episode with their product Groove Book, a digital photo subscription service. For the price of $2.99 a month, the user gets a bound book of high-resolution photos they took with their smartphone. Despite technology moving fast, I always think that a physical photo book will be something of importance and relevance. Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary agreed to that idea, as they together invested $150,000 in exchange for 80% of the licensing profits, with O'Leary taking the lead advisory role. Groovebook, as of today, is doing quite well in sales. The price has raised to $3.99 a month, and starting with great popularity after airing the episode, with 50,000 subscribers rapidly achieved. The heads of the company eventually sold Groovebook to Shutterstock for $14.5 million, so a very big deal there. They no longer are in charge, but I would say ultimately they've started a great business that is still continuing onwards to do well once again to this day. Cousins Maine Lobster. From a Season 4 episode, this duo of cousins, Sabin Lomack and Jim Telks, they shipped lobster from their home state of Maine to where they now live in California, and they started a high-end food truck named Cousins Maine Lobster. Their venture became successful on their own, with their lobster rolls being the most popular item on the menu. With this said, they weren't anywhere near the level of popularity they would find themselves at today. When they made their appearance on Shark Tank, the cousins made a deal with Barbara for $55,000 in exchange for 15% of their company. Rapidly following their episode airing, sales rose to $700,000. Fast forward to the year 2016, by the end of it, they made $8 million in that 1 year. They have continued to do very well to this day, with excellent sales. Scrub Daddy. Starting with the most successful product to come from Shark Tank, this is a cleaning sponge that is designed in the shape of a smiley face. It is certainly one of the more basic products to ever come from the show, but that certainly doesn't mean it's a bad product. From the years of 2014 to 2017, the Scrub Daddy brought in a total of $75 million in revenue, as said by Lori herself, the shark that agreed to work with founder and CEO of Scrub Daddy, Aaron Cross. The deal struck took place in Season 4, where Lori invested $200,000 in exchange for 20% equity. With all of this said, the product was not as big of a success immediately, even after the episode featuring the Scrub Daddy aired. For the first 18 months following, sales were not that great, and Aaron was at times quite doubtful. But Lori kept her spirits high with her optimism. With her connections, she would eventually bring the Scrub Daddy onto QVC, a very famous shopping channel, alongside bringing it to stores like Bed Bath & Beyond. The product has now become a bestseller, and with the expanded line of products, everything for the company has been continuing to trend in an upwards direction. Simple Sugars. In a Season 4 episode, Lani Lazari was only 18 years old. She brought to the Sharks her skincare company called Simple Sugars. This cosmetics company interested Mark Cuban quite a lot, and he was the one who ended up making a deal for $100,000 investment in return for 33% equity. With one of the fastest success stories, her sales jumped from $50,000 to $220,000 within 24 hours of the episode airing, and just 6 weeks later, she hit a total of $1 million in sales. In 2016, the company brought in more than $3 million in revenue. Simple Sugars products can be found in more than 700 retail locations, and they also ship internationally. Mark Cuban has gone on record saying that it's one of his most profitable investments from the show. Bubba's Q boneless ribs. Al Bubba Baker, who was the 1978 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, broke into a new career path after appearing in a Season 5 episode with Bubba's Q boneless ribs, a unique take on the ribs where, well, they are boneless, plus the other major selling point being that they can be cooked in a microwave for only 2 minutes and then they will be ready to eat. Bubba struck a deal with Damon for $300,000 in exchange for 30% equity and licensing rights to his company. Damon John helped by securing a deal with a large-scale food processing plant and said that he thinks he can get Bubba Q's to become a nationwide brand with $200 million in lifetime sales. They are still to this day doing well and are very likely to surpass Scrub Daddy as the most successful Shark Tank product sometime in the near future. Bottle Breacher. This product is quite inventive to a certain extent as it reuses 50 caliber bullets and turns them into stylized bottle openers. I forgot to state that these are dummy bullets, so they are not live, they don't have gunpowder in them. With that said, they were real bullets that could have been used in action. The heads of the company are former Navy SEAL Eli Crane and his wife and business partner, Jen Crane. The duo struck a deal with a duo of sharks, Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary, where they together invested $150,000 in exchange for 20% in Bottle Breacher. Kevin has taken the role of lead ambassador of the company and has said that it has been one of his most profitable investments. As demand has increased, this has resulted in more than $2.5 million made only partway through 2017. Lumio. In a Season 6 episode, Max Gunawan brought his product to the Sharks, a foldable magnetic lamp by the name Lumio. The main selling point is that it is very portable with its size and functionality comparable to that of a book. Open the book-like design and it opens to be a light source that you can control the direction of by how much you have it open. Robert invested at $350,000 for 10% of the company, calling the CEO possibly the best entrepreneur he's seen as of yet on the show. In the year 2016, Lumio made $3 million, and then in just the first half of 2017, Lumio made another $3 million. So the product is definitely expanding in popularity and sales. Max Gunawan, once again the CEO, stated in a 2017 interview that his growth is healthy and that he will continue to make distribution deals with stores that appeal to a high-end artistic audience. With certainly who he's targeting is very understandable, as while the design of the light is cool, it's not the most practical, and at prices starting at $150 for the smallest model, it makes sense that that is who he is looking at going after. Breathometer. People love to temporarily escape from the stresses of life when they have the chance to. A main method to do so is by drinking alcohol. A potential problem for those who go out to drink, whether it be at a bar, a restaurant, or a friend's house, is that they may end their night in a state that is not safe to be driving in. In Season 5, Charles Yim struck a 5-shark deal for his product, the Breathometer, a portable breathalyzer that works with a smartphone. The deal, as I said, was between all 5 sharks, which at the time consisted of Mark, Kevin, Damon, Robert, and Laurie, where they all equally contributed for a total of $650,000 invested in exchange for 30% of the company, once again split between them. Charles Yim, after a Shark Tank appearance, secured another $6.5 million in additional funding from another party and also partnered with the Cleveland Clinic, a very prestigious place, to develop a more accurate and portable breathalyzer, plus a device that tracks oral health and hydration levels. In 2015 alone, the company made about $20 million in sales. A problem that arose, though, is that at the beginning of 2017, the FTC forced the company to refund all purchases of the breathometer. As it turns out, the product was just way too inaccurate and inconsistent to be providing the service that they claimed to. Since this major speed bump came about, the company has now shifted its focus to be on the oral health product, and still is a thing today, but not doing quite as well as it once was. Wicked Good Cupcakes. In a Season 4 episode, Tracy Noonan and Danielle Village, a mother-daughter duo, came to the Sharks with their cupcakes that are made in a jar. They struck a deal with Kevin O'Leary where he invested $75,000 for royalties instead of equity. He received $1 from every cupcake sold until he made his money back. After that had been passed, he now receives 50 cents per cupcake sold. Kevin said it's been his most profitable investment of the show. Since the first appearance of Wicked Good Cupcakes, sales jumped from the initial $7,000 a month to now approximately $400,000 a month, or about $4.8 million annually. Thank you all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.